As the wedding takes place today in Windsor, Prince Harry's match with Californian actress and humanitarian Meghan Markle has been closely analyzed by Penny. She's been in South Africa to launch her book, The Zodiac Cooks, a collection of recipes suggesting how certain foods are compatible with our individual nature, based on the day, season, and year we are born.
Penny, Princess Diana was my absolute favorite and still is. How did you meet?
It started because I was writing a book about, well, not about Prince Andrew, but he was in it. And friends of his overheard that I was doing this, said, send it to Andrew, he'd love to read it. And before I knew where I was, Sarah Ferguson was on the phone. And at some point I knew inevitably I would meet Diana. But when she finally phoned me, it was out of the blue on a Thursday morning, and you could have knocked me down with a feather.
Now, Prince Harry and Meghan are getting married. How exciting. What would you say would be on the menu?
It's anybody's guess, the real wedding menu. But I put one together that I think suits the occasion and also suits Harry and Meghan, well, from an astrological perspective. So I've had a bit of fun with this. I started off with lobster with broad bean puree with a lemon vinaigrette dressing.
The book and recipes detail how and why our star signs can define our tastes.
These are edamame beans, but I actually prefer to use broad beans if I can get them.
Right.
Basically, you just stick the beans into your blender, and you have any sort of blender, add some garlic.
Yum.
Then olive oil.
Perfect.
And then blitz. I've used a small quantity here just so that we can get rolling with this.
Fantastic.
It's very, 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 very simple and very, very delicious. Because this is astrological as well, Meghan has Cancer rising, and Cancer is the sign of seafood, shellfish. And Harry has Capricorn rising, which is also a sign of seafood, those in particularly hard shells. So in fact, the main ingredient is very much to their astrological taste.
According to Penny, as a Virgo, Prince Harry is one for doing things without any fuss. Being a Leo, Meghan will dominate in the kitchen.
Tastes amazing.
The next step is getting on with the lobster.
Are you doing like a special sauce with the lobster?
Yes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to poach the lobster in a butter sauce.
Okay.
So you have to start off with a little bit of water in the pan, otherwise the butter will burn. But once you've got that sort of warming, you whisk it slightly and just add your butter a drop at a time.
Okay.
And there's a lot of butter in this recipe, but you've got to remember that you're not going to eat all that butter.
Yeah.
All you're doing is poaching the lobster.
Right, and all that beautiful flavor.
The flavor,
Yeah.
that's what you're doing.
Penny's well acquainted with the charts of the royal family, and her menu's inspired by that knowledge.
So what's the next step?
Carolyn chicken curry. So
Yum.
I'm just going to put this on the pan there so
Okay.
it'll heat up nicely.
So tell me about the ingredients and how that is linked to some kind of astrology.
Yeah, well, Kerala is a particular part of India, and they have a lot of coconut, and so a lot of their curries are quite sweet and delicious. And Leo is Meghan's sun sign, and coconut is a Leo superfood.
Wow.
So that's why we're concentrating a lot on this. And I think also Leo, like all fire signs, enjoys a bit of spice, a bit of heat.
Yeah.
And Harry's had a very kind of eclectic upbringing. I mean, technically, as a Virgo, he should be eating lentils and porridge oats, but
Wow.
there is a part of every Virgo that loves something very naughty and
Yeah.
nice and sweet. So they'll definitely like this.
So what happens now, Penny?
What happens is we make this incredibly delicious curry very quickly, but like all things that are simple, there's some tricks, and the real essence of getting this right is once you've blitzed all your ginger and onions and all the things you're going to make into that basic mix, it's got to cook. It's got to cook through about 10 minutes in the pan all on its own. You can keep adding water to it to make sure it doesn't burn, but that's the secret of everything. And then you can start to build your curry. But this is crucial, really, to the dishes, is the coconut milk. Again, just because it's a delicious addition to it, and it's an essential addition, but also because it is Leo's superfoods, and we want to make sure Meghan has her Leo superfood.
Yum, I can't wait. Penny, you met Prince Harry when he was only 3. Now he's grown, and not only that, he's getting married.
I think Diana would have been so proud of Harry, or she'd be proud of both her boys. I think what the achievement is that they have grown up inside this goldfish bowl, as it were, with a very privileged upbringing, yet they're incredibly real people and they address real issues. And I think that's a spirit of Diana they have taken not only into their grown-up lives, but grown-up lives as men. This is much easier for us women to talk about, you know, things to do with depression or whatever and post-traumatic stress. We embrace that, but it's been much harder for men, and they have really broken that barrier down, both of them. I think she would be immensely proud.
Having met with Princess Diana every week at her home in St. James's Palace, this table setting reflects what she liked as well as the couple's tastes.
Oh, Penny, this looks absolutely spectacular.
It's beautiful.
When it comes to fine dining, kind of the food needs to match the setting. How did you approach this?
Well, this is all about marriage. It's all about two people coming together and celebrating. So getting the colours to go that would work with both was a priority, really, and we've done pretty well, I think. Beautiful silver table settings, and silver is, again, Cancer rising. Certainly, we've got our creamy, yellowy colours, which are very much Leo. And we must remember this is about love. It's a wedding, so we need a lot of Libran loveliness in this. So hence the peonies, all those are very much Libran loving plants.
Now, the question that everybody wants to know, do you think Prince Harry and Meghan are the perfect match?
Well, they're a match made in heaven. And that's covering a multitude of sins, in that they are right for each other. They're obviously madly in love with each other. They have such a connection. And that, like anything in a marriage, is a very good thing, because if you have that rocket fuel in the beginning, it's going to take you over all the bumpy parts, which are inevitable. They are incidentally getting married on a very interesting day, astrologically. It's a little bit volatile. So their marriage will be very colourful. They will strike out in a very independent way. They're not going to follow the royal suit, as it were. They're going to be their own couple. They're going to perhaps even spend a lot of time outside England, or not doing the kind of royal thing. We'll see a very different couple from Meghan and Harry.
Joining our toast to the royal couple, pastry chef Charlotte Letlape brought a stunning cake. We sipped champagne from glasses of freshly frozen ice, and we're joined by celebrity publicist Richard Curson, who's worked with the Windsors before.
Richard, you're a dear friend to Penny, and you both worked with international stars and the royals. What do you think of the cookbook and kind of combining food with astrology?
All of the dishes are incredibly delicious and flavoursome, and she's very good at working with flavours and knowing what goes with what and what to put together. And I think that's a good representation of who Penny is, because she's very meticulous, and her attention to detail is second to none.
Charlotte, you've incorporated citrus in the cake. Tell me about this gorgeous creation.
So this is a 3-tier cake with a lemon and elderflower sponge that I soaked in elderflower syrup, and the filling has got lemon curd. And I decided to do a combination of a fondant covered with a buttercream icing because it's untraditional, and Prince Harry is untraditional, and it's just very plain, very lightly colored, just to bring out the fun and the happiness and the Leo of it.
Prince Harry proposed in the kitchen. Was that the perfect setting?
I think it was a perfect place on many levels, because the idea of the kitchen being the heart of the home, and that's been very important for both Harry and William, to have a real home life and a real centre of the home, which was also Diana's place too. This idea of the kitchen would have represented so many things, comfort, truth, family, all those kind of things were in there, as well as the surprise factor, because who expects to be proposed to when you're cooking a chicken?
Penny, it's been absolutely gorgeous spending this time with you and learning a bit more about astrology, food, and of course the royal wedding that we're all waiting for. Cheers, everybody.
For dessert, a romantic cœur à la crème, and best wishes to Prince Harry and the new Duchess of Sussex, Princess Meghan.